Hey everybody, Mrs. Mori is here. Super cool. Technology is absolutely amazing, guys. So I found a way for me to continue with teaching you guys your toolbox lessons because I for surely don't want you guys to miss out on any of our lessons. So today we're going to continue on with learning two new tools from Toolbox. Remember, this is our sheet of all 12 of our tools. By the end of the day today, you will have learned 8 different tools, which is really cool. All right, so we're going to start off with personal space tool. Can we all say, I have a right to my space and so do you? There we go. I have a right to my space and so do you. Exactly true. Sometimes we can think of maybe going to a place where we might say, whoa, there's a lot of people here. And speaking of personal space, it kind of makes me think about what's been going on in our world currently regarding personal space. We all have to stay now 6 inches away from anyone, and that's giving us a lot of personal space, which is really good. We don't want to get sick. So our personal space tool, remember with all of our tools, there's also a physical tool that goes along with that. Our physical tool here is a ball of yarn. Now just think for a second, why would we have chosen a ball of yarn to be our tool for personal space? I did this lesson in a couple classes before we were heading out, but I'll let you go ahead and think and I'll tell you what some students said to me. Okay. So you can put in the comments after this video, you can tell me, well, this is what I thought or this is what I didn't think. So personal space, actually, the reason why we chose a ball of yarn is the idea is that if I had a physical ball of yarn and I was to pull out the pieces and I was to give them out to each student in your class, everyone's length of that ball of yarn would be different. So maybe you might say, hey, Miss Mori, I want a longer piece of yarn because I'm going to use that yarn to put around myself and my personal space circle. I want my personal space to be a little bit wider. Maybe someone would say, I want my length to be a little bit shorter because I don't mind people being that close to me. I love to hug people. I love to hold hands. That's kind of what we have done in my family. That's how I grew up, which is perfectly fine. But everyone's personal space is different. We see a picture here for personal space is self-control, awareness, and perspective. So the idea is that we're going to put our hands out like this and kind of make our circle for personal space. And this might be a good time to do that. Maybe you're at home right now, your siblings are all in your room or all in your personal space. And I know this is a really difficult time, but you can maybe say, whoa, some days it's too much. And you can just tell your brother or your sister, hey, I need a little bit personal space. Tell your mom, I know we have to be in the house together right now, but is there a way that I can just maybe have the room to myself for a little bit, close the door, get, some time to do some deep breathing and just relax because it can be a little frustrating sometimes when you don't have your personal space. This is a pretty cool photo here of this girl saying, hey, I belong here and you belong there. So don't stand in my personal space. So the idea is that once again with personal space is it's teaching us that each person has their own personal boundary, that each person has the responsibility to respect other people's personal space. So like I said, for you, your circle might be a little big, it might be a little small, but regardless, we can't judge others for the amount of personal space that they want. We have to respect that and understand that that is their personal decision to decide whether or not they want more or less personal space. And this one is pretty funny too, because maybe this guy's like, okay, this is great, I can wave from you, or wave to you from here, and then the guy starts walking up and you're like, not okay. I really don't like people touching me. Once again, we can't judge those people. It all depends on how we grew up. It depends on our living situation or circumstance. And we might just say, hey, in my culture, we love to hug people. In my family, at birthday parties, at different events, we all walk in and we immediately know to hug each other. Even when the party's over, we still go around. I had a student tell me, we still have to go around, hug each other, oh, bye, I'm going to miss you. And that's just what they do in their family. And that varies from different culture to culture, from family to family. Maybe take a moment to think of a party that you've went to or an event that you've went to for someone that had a different culture than you. Or maybe it could have been a movie that you've seen before and you might have said, that's a little different. I've never seen that before. In my family, we don't actually really do that. But it's interesting to learn about different cultures and how they perceive personal space. And we can respect that and understand that it's different. So here's some things that you can say if someone is in your personal space. You can say, oops, you're just a little too close. You can say, could you step back a little, please? Or you can say, I'm not comfortable when you're that close to me. Can you move away a little bit? And it's all about the way in which we're using our words. We don't want to say in a mean way when you're yelling, saying, oops, you're a little too close to me. Because wouldn't that kind of make that person a little sad or upset? And they might say, wow, I didn't realize that I was that close to them. They could have just nicely asked me and I would have understood. But sometimes people aren't doing these things necessarily on purpose. Which brings us into our next tool, which is the using our words tool. So this is, I use the right words in the right way. This is such a great tool, guys, because sometimes we forget how important our words are. And our tongues, which we all have one, because I've all heard your voices before. I know you cannot talk. We forget how powerful our tongues are and how strong they are. And just think of a moment where someone has said a hurtful word to you. And it probably hurt worse than actually falling and hurting your knee or stubbing your toe. That pain that we feel from words is different than physical pain that we might feel from getting hurt, or pain that we might feel on our actual body. So we have to understand that with the using our words tool, it's very important to know that our words are powerful, they're strong, and there's no way that we can ever get them back. So a lot of the times we will say things out of anger or say things out of frustration, and unfortunately there's no way that we can grab those words and try to, oh, forgive me, I'm going to take it back, it never happened. Fortunately, what you'll learn with this tool, there's no eraser here that we can erase it like it never happened. So the using our words tool teaches us that. So for the using our words tool, our physical tool is a pencil. Kind of like I just said with the eraser. So you're going to act like you're holding a pencil. You're just going to write in the air. Time to use your words. If you see your teacher kind of going like this, they're letting you know maybe this is a good time to use your words. So you might be thinking now, well, Miss Mori, what are some ways that I can use my words? Okay. Well, let's see. When other people do things that you don't like, think of anything. It could be someone taking a pencil off your desk without asking. It could be your sister or brother bursting into your room without knocking. Do you tell them how you feel about that honestly and respectfully? I think those are two words that are really good to use in these situations. Let's use the example of your brother or sister bursting into your room. I know that can be a little hard and you might be frustrated. You might yell, get out! You might say some other words that are kind of alarming and things that you probably don't mean either. But in a respectful way, you can use your breathing tool, calm down, and say, hey, sister, brother, I didn't really like the way that you just came in my room. Do you think that next time you can actually knock? And I can already hear a couple of voices saying, Miss Mori, that's not going to work. They're going to keep doing it. Well, the good thing is that you did your part. You used your words. You let them know how you feel. You did it in a respectful way. And the goal is that in that moment, that particular day, or weeks might go by, that family member might continue to do that. But the idea is that they'll eventually learn and say, wow, instead of yelling at me, I know I'm wrong. Maybe next time I will make a better decision. I'll think twice before opening that door. It might be difficult to explain to a toddler or someone who's a little bit younger than you because you're like, Miss Mori, you don't understand. They don't get it. And that's the thing, is that these tools, we can teach them. You, before you heard about this, you didn't know either. So this is all so cool that we're able to even teach our family these things too. And we can't get upset, especially at our brothers and sisters and family members that are a lot younger than us because they just don't know. Okay. So our last part is using our words tool. It teaches us to be positive, to offer kind words, to be polite, to speak up for yourself because each and every one of you have your own individual voice and I want you to use it. Listen as much as you speak, which brings us to our listening tool, and explain how you feel. which can always be really difficult sometimes, depending on who we're talking to, because when we're mad, we don't want to explain how we feel. We just want to be mad. But it's also good to take a deep breath and say, hey friend, you've been asking me a bunch of times, is everything okay? And I just can't talk about it right now. So do you think you can give me some personal space and allow me to just take some time? That friend's going to say, oh, great, no problem. Of course, I just was concerned about you, because that's what friends do. They love you, they care about you, and they just want to know. So it might seem a little annoying sometimes, like, oh my gosh, leave me alone. But using our words can help solve that issue. All right, guys, so those were our 2 tools for the day. I'm going to be uploading another video showing you guys all of our tools now that we have 8 tools. And you guys comment, let me know how you can use this tool at home. I'm thinking of also creating a worksheet for Toolbox that you guys can practice at home and submit different situations to me. But I'm so glad that I was able to produce this video for you guys. I'll be happy to continue making more, and I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy while being at home. All right, I'll see you guys next time.